thing I want to do is call out Wyatt and Jake Ward. Are they here? Can they put their hands up? Okay. Round of applause for those two guys. Because of them, you guys get to skip class for an hour today and listen to me talk instead. Isn't that awesome? So clap for those here's the way we're going to do this going forward. I'm going to be asking you guys a series of questions from now and then during the time I talk to you, and I've got some prizes I brought along with me as well. So the key is, though, when I ask questions, we can't be shouting out answers because then I won't be able to know who to give the prizes to, so everybody's got to put their hand up when I ask questions, okay? Does that sound good? We got a deal there? Okay, good. Okay, so my name is Bukaty. And I'm here to talk to you guys about dreaming, okay? And does everybody have dreams here? Put your hand up if you have dreams sometimes. Okay, we're going to talk about some specific dreams. And then we're going to talk about how to make those dreams come true. First things first, and I got a prize for this. Let's see here. Does anybody know who that guy is? Put your hand up if you know who that guy is. Oh, let's see. I'm going to go with the young lady in the blue shirt here. Who's that? That is Patrick Mahomes. Everybody knows who that is, right? So what I got for you, now listen, guys, listen. This is important. Do not eat this. This is some Mahomes Crunch, and it says it was best eaten by 2020. So don't do that, but it is a collector's item if you want to throw the cereal away or whatever. You got a limited edition box of Mahomes Crunch right there. Okay, so that's Patrick Mahomes. Put your hands up if you've ever watched Patrick Mahomes play in the Super Bowl. Pretty much everybody? Almost everybody watched him the last two Super Bowls? Okay, what about Super Bowl commercials? Has anybody here ever stopped to watch all the commercials in the Super Bowl? They're pretty incredible, right? A lot of fun. They spend millions and millions of dollars to put those commercials up during the Super Bowl itself. How many of you have ever been in a Super Bowl commercial with Patrick Mahomes? My hand is still up. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. To this day, I still can't believe it because when I was your age, I watched the Super Bowl every year, and I think I was more excited about the commercials sometimes than I was about the game itself. Isn't that weird? So I get to brag about this for the rest of my life because it happened. This was right after Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl MVP 2 seasons ago.
No look passing, expectation crashing. Side on throwing.
I'm going. Destiny chasing. Game changing. Champion.
Champion.
That's my homie. That's my homie.
That's my homie.
That's my homie.
That's my homie. That's my homie.
That's me!
That's my homie.
That's me good! Holy cow. It was unbelievable. Super fun, right? Now how did that happen? Who is this lucky guy that got to be in that Super Bowl commercial? That's me, right? And this is the first thing about me that I want to tell you is that I'm a husband. Because you want to talk about lucky guys, I got to marry that lady. She's my best friend in the whole world. She's the best person I know. And it's a complete dream come true to be married to her. And I thank my lucky stars every day that I'm married to her. And my number one priority is to be the best husband to her that I can be. So I make Bukaty a husband. And those are my 3 beautiful kids. Secondly, I'm incredibly proud to have the 3 beautiful children that I always dreamed of. And it's more important to me than anything to be the best father to them that I can be. That's a dream come true for me to have a family like that. And thirdly, I'm a sports broadcaster. When I was your age, you guys are 5th and 7th grade, right? Right around the time I was your age, I decided that I wanted to be a sports broadcaster when I grew up. And I'm going to talk more about that in a second. But basically, what does that mean? Well, I love sports. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite hobby. It's what I spend my time doing. I like to play sports. I like to watch sports. And I love Kansas City sports because I grew up here. So I love the Royals and the Chiefs. When I was your age, sporting Kansas City did not exist. But soccer is my favorite sport, so I love them too. Sporting Kansas City won the MLS Cup in 2013, and I got to be there. That's me and my wife holding up the trophy at the celebration. The Kansas City Royals went to the World Series in 2014 to 2015. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to be on the field during the World Series working for MLB Network on national television, which was a complete dream come true for me because I grew up watching the Royals. They won the World Series when I was in 4th grade in 1985. And then when the Royals won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, that's me on stage, and 810 is the radio station that I work for. The day that they celebrated and had the big parade and everything, you guys remember that when they won the Super Bowl? I got to be a part of those things. That was a dream come true for me. The jobs that I do right now, I do a morning radio show for Sports Radio 810 WHB, 4 hours every morning. Myself, Stephen St. John, and Jake Gutierrez, and we talk about sports. So basically, I get paid to hang out with 2 of my best friends and joke around and talk about sports all day and try to entertain people. That sounds like a pretty fun job, doesn't it? And then my other job is I'm the play-by-play announcer for Sporting Kansas City. My favorite sport, I get paid to go watch the games and describe what's happening to everybody. And I get to be a part of it. I consider my job to be a get-to job, not a got-to job. I stole that line from another sportscaster named Ernie Johnson who described it that way, and it's perfect. I don't have to go to work. I get to go to work every day, doing exactly what I wanted to do when I was your age. And that's important because that's what I want to talk to you guys about. And I just had to sneak another picture of me and Stephen in with Patrick Mahomes just to show that I really do get to hang out with Patrick Mahomes sometimes because I know he's a lot cooler than I am. Okay, now does anybody know who this is? Put your hand up if you know who this is. Yes, sir. Dream. Okay, that's right. I'm glad I wasn't sure if you guys were going to know that. So I got some Mahomes crunch for you too. You guys might not be, but I'm a huge Minecraft guy. So Dream is my guy. I'm kidding, by the way. I don't play much Minecraft, but my kids do. So this is Dream. I just wanted to have a picture that you guys will recognize here because we're going to talk about dreaming today. Because I'm living out my childhood dreams right in front of you guys. And I want you to know that you can do the same thing. I'm not saying be a sportscaster. If you want to, you can do it. I'm saying whatever you dream of, you can make it happen. That's a powerful thing, isn't it? Do you realize how powerful of an individual you are that you can do that? But it takes some things. It's not easy. So we're going to talk about what it takes to get there. These are some key ingredients, in my opinion. The first one is you got to dare to dream. The second one is you have to have role models. The third one is you need to express yourself. The fourth one is you need to have a great attitude. And the fifth one is you got to go make it happen. It's not going to happen for you. So let's talk about it. Let's dare to dream. I'm not guessing anybody recognizes what that is. It's kind of a fuzzy picture. But that is a picture of the Flint Hills. Does anybody know what the Flint Hills are? Yes, sir. A large area of land filled with hills? That's exactly right. I got a prize for you. This is from the Missouri Mavericks, the hockey team. Come on down here. You can grab this. The Flint Hills are in the middle of the state of Kansas, and it's a big, wide area where there's pretty much nothing but hills. When I was your age, my parents were divorced, and my mother lived in southern Kansas, and my dad lived here in Kansas City. And every other weekend, I would spend 4 hours in the car on Fridays driving down to visit my mom, and then on Sundays driving back to Kansas City to visit my dad. And I'm going to tell you guys something. This was in the 1980s. We had no iPods, we had no cell phones, we had no laptops, we had no DVD players, we had no video games to play. Do you know what I had to do to entertain myself for 4 hours every Friday and Sunday? I had to sit there and listen and talk to my parents. Oh my gosh, can you believe how horrible that would be? That sounds pretty terrible, doesn't it? Pretty boring. was actually some of the best things that ever happened to me in my life, because one day we were driving in the middle of the Flint Hills. There wasn't much to do, but my dad and I would listen to sporting events on the radio, baseball games and football games. And I was in 6th grade, so right in between your guys' age groups. One day, game's going on. It goes to timeout. Commercial comes on. My dad turns the radio down. He says, "So what do you want to be when you grow up?" And honestly, I hadn't really spent a whole lot of time thinking about it at that point. And I said, "I don't know, maybe a shortstop or a point guard, whatever." And he said, "You better come up with a backup plan because you're not even the best basketball player on your grade school basketball team. If you want to be a professional athlete, you're going to have to be the best player at your high school, and then the best player at your college, and then the best player, to get to the next level each time. So it's going to be pretty hard." And I was really mad. I was like, wait a second. I was just sitting here minding my own business, listening to this game on the radio, and now my dad comes in and crushes my dreams. But then I thought about it for a little bit while we were driving, and I thought to myself, yeah, I'm not the best athlete. I mean, I like sports a lot, but I'm definitely not the best player on my team. Maybe he's right. And so I started thinking about it, and then the game came back on, and I said, what about these guys? I pointed at the radio, and he said, what guys? I said, the guys that are describing the game right now. He said, oh, the play-by-play guys. I said, yeah. He said, well, I don't see any reason you couldn't do that. Let's come up with a plan. And from that point on, I started paying attention to what I wanted to be. In order to make your dreams come true, you first have to have a dream. Some of the people I work for, some of the smartest people in the business world that own Sporting Kansas City, they call it a vision. And what they call a vision is a vivid description of a future state. Think about that. Not just kind of maybe I'll be this or that, but a vivid description. What do I want this to look like down the road? Before you can get there, you got to picture where you're going, right? So dare to dream. That's the first thing. You guys, if you want to make your dreams come true, you got to actively dream. Not just sit around and wait for the dreams to come to you, but look around. Pay attention to the life you see around you. The grown-ups you see that are doing things that you think, man, I would like to live that kind of life. For me, I showed you my 3 kids. I told you my parents were divorced. I bounced all over the place. I didn't want that. I wanted to be in a stable marriage with somebody that loved me as much as I loved them, and I wanted to have a big family. And I had 2 uncles who did that. And so I looked at them and I said, what are they doing? And I paid attention to them. And that brings us to our next point. Role models. Does anyone know what that picture is of? What do you think? A girl eating sushi is right. But if you look more specifically, it's a model eating a roll, a sushi roll. That's a terrible dad joke, right? That doesn't make a single one of you laugh. But that's a way for you to remember this. Yeah, groaners, it was a groaner, I get it. Role models. Once you have your dreams, you've got to look at people that are living out your dreams and figure out how do they do it. How are they doing it? Okay? And again, you look around and you see, okay, who's doing the stuff that I want to be doing? And then ask yourself, why? Well, why is it that I want my life to be like theirs? And in what ways? Because in some ways, I might look at this person and say, professionally, I want to be like them. But on a personal standpoint, I don't want to be like them. I want to be like somebody else. You identify role models in all the different parts of your life. You ask yourself why you want to be like them. And then you ask, how did they get there? Because you know what they're doing? They're providing you a roadmap to get to where you want to go. And then you seek those people out. Okay? So, does anybody know who this guy is? There's a hand up. Two of the members of FaZe Clan, that's right. Gosh, you guys are pretty on point with your video game knowledge. Does anybody know who the FaZe Clan is? Hands up if you do, okay. Here you go, this is yours too. You might not want this. If you do, it's all yours.
I'll take it out.
Okay, I got a prize for you too. So that right there, that's my son. And I don't know if this makes you guys like my son or dislike him, but he loves the FaZe Clan. He thought they were really cool. And we happened to run into those guys at a hotel in New York City. And the young one right there, that's FaZe High Sky. I don't usually know this stuff, but he explained it all to me. That's an 11-year-old gamer, right, who's making like millions of dollars playing video games. Talk about living the dream. At 11 years old, he's playing video games and making money. And my son thinks he is the coolest. And he didn't want to go talk to him. So you're here in New York, and this guy that you think is the coolest guy in the world is standing 20 feet from you, and you don't want to go say anything to him? Oh, I'm too shy. I don't know. He might laugh at me. So I did the nerdy dad thing, and I walked him over there, and I said, "Excuse me, are you guys the FaZe clan?" I don't even know what that question really means. When my son's explaining it to me, and they were really nice. They said, "Yeah, absolutely." I said, "Well, my son over there is a big fan of yours, and he'd love to meet you. Bring him on over. We'd love to meet him too." They got pictures together. He got to show them to all his friends at school and feel cool about it. And then they got to talk about how he got to be what he was. When you find your role models, you have to seek them out. Talk to them. Find out how they got to do what they're doing. It's a little scary sometimes because sometimes you're afraid to go up to somebody that you look up to. You're afraid that they might reject you. But more often than not, if you tell someone that what they're doing means a lot to you, that makes them feel good. That makes them want to show you how they've done what they've done, right? That kid loves playing video games. To meet another kid who loves that same video game and loves the way he plays them, why wouldn't that make him feel great? You ask yourself that question. If there's something that you really like to do, and another person came up to you and said, "I like it just as much as you do, and I love the way you do it," wouldn't that make you feel good? So you shouldn't be afraid to go up to your role models and talk to them and ask them how they got to be what they are. The next step is you got to express yourself. You got to be you. Yeah, you have your role models, but you also got to make yourself a part of the whole story. That's a picture of my daughter. She's not afraid to express herself, as you can tell by her wardrobe. A lot of tutus, a lot of sunglasses, a lot of things. She doesn't really care if you think what she's wearing is cool or not. She's going to wear it, she's going to be herself, and I love that about her. I find it refreshing about her. But the other part of this is you found your dreams. You found your role models. You know what you want to be and how you want to get there. Tell people. Express yourself. Speak your dreams out into the public. That's kind of a scary thing sometimes, right? When I was a kid your age, I would tell people, "Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?" "I want to be a sports broadcaster." "Oh, that's cute." I had people laugh at me. I had my first college professor told me I would never make it as a sports broadcaster because my voice is too high. And I slunk back to my dorm room. Man, my first day of college, and my teacher's already telling me I'm never going to make it, right? That's a scary thing. When you put yourself out there for people, they might reject you. They might tell you you're not good enough. You don't have to listen to those people. I'm actually glad for every person that told me I could never accomplish my dreams, because those people made it clear to me that it was not going to be easy. That if I wanted to make my dreams come true, I was going to have to do a lot of hard work. I was going to have to stick with it. We'll get to that stuff in a moment. But they made me know, just because you dream of something doesn't mean it's going to come true. You got to go make it come true, and it's going to be hard. But I also had a lot of people in my life tell me that I could do it, that believed in me. When I was a junior in high school, I had a teacher, because I told everybody, I'm going to be a sportscaster when I grow up. I don't think I had any idea how hard it was going to be at that time. I just said it like it was a fact. And I had a teacher who came up to me one day with you guys probably don't know what newspapers are, do you? But he came up to me with a newspaper cutout, and there was an advertisement for a sportscasters camp in St. Louis, Missouri. It cost $2,000, which was a lot of money at that time in life. But they would have the best sportscasters, all these role models, guys I wanted to be like were going to be there talking about how to become a sportscaster. So you should go to this. And I said, I don't have $2,000 to go to something like this. And he said, well, maybe your dad will help you. I said, there's no way my dad's paying $2,000 to send me to a sportscasters camp. He He said, well, maybe you could strike a deal with your dad where if you get a job, mowing lawns, whatever, you pay for half of it, he might pay for the other half. I said, I don't know. He said, listen, you say you want to be a sportscaster. You should be doing everything you can to become a sportscaster. This camp is one of those things. You should be doing everything you can to get yourself there, not making excuses for why you can't go. Because my teacher believed in me and pushed me to do it, I took a huge step when I went to that camp, and I learned a ton. And that was a big step in my development. And it was because I had the guts to tell him what I wanted to be. If you tell the people around you that love you what you want to be when you grow up, most of them will do whatever they can to help you. And sometimes that means pushing you a little bit. Get out there. Get after your dreams. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. In fact, I had accomplished all the things I told you guys, getting to the point in my profession where I am right now, and I feel really happy to be in my hometown broadcasting. But I always had this dream in the back of my head. Maybe I could make it to the national stage. Maybe I could be a network guy. Maybe someday I could call a World Cup. And I told one of my coworkers that. One of my coworkers laughed at me. Said, well, that's a pretty lofty goal. And I had another guy said, you should do it. You're good enough, and you need to go after it. This summer, I got to work at the Fox Studios in Los Angeles for a week. The same place where they used to film Star Wars and all kinds of TV shows and movies that you guys watch. I got to call that place my office for a week. And I might get to go do more. That's my goal. That's my dream now. My dream is to call a World Cup for those guys. And I'm not afraid to tell you guys that that's my dream. It might happen, it might not, but I'm not scared. I'm not scared to tell you that that's my dream. I'm still dreaming at my age, right? You can always continue to dream. Attitude is everything. Whatever you do in your life, attitude is everything. And the first one I want to talk to you about is recognizing opportunity versus obligation. Do you guys feel like you have to be in school here today, or do you feel like you get to be in school? You don't have to answer it out loud, but answer it in your mind. Do you feel like you have to be here today, or do you feel like you get to be here today? Think about that for a second and think really good about it. Because when I was your age, I could tell you my answer was, I have to be here. Right? I see some of you nodding your heads. The truth is, you have the opportunity to come to a great school every day and take a step closer to achieving your dreams. Every one of you, you're sitting in this room because someone in your life loves you so much that they sacrifice financially and their time and other things to put you in this position. Think about that. There's a lot of people that would love to have someone love them that much. So it's an opportunity. When I do things like go to the grocery store, I used to think, oh man, I gotta go to the grocery store for my family today. You know what that is? That's an opportunity for me to help contribute to the most important people in my life. When I go to the grocery store for those beautiful 3 kids and that amazing wife of mine, I have a chance, an opportunity to show them how much I love them and to do something that matters for them. Provide food for them. Provide clothing for them. Things like that. That's an opportunity. It's not an obligation. I'm lucky to be in that situation. And here's why that matters. When you do something thinking of it as an opportunity, you do it better. You do it with a better attitude. Think about it. When you go out and you play at recess and you're having fun, you give it all you got. You're having a great time, you're laughing, you're playing, and you're giving energy to it. When you have to do something that your parents, I gotta do this, and your body language, here I go, I gotta finish this test, I'm just gonna get through it. You don't do as well, right? Andy Reid, the head football coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, always talks about wanting to be surrounded by energy givers. People that give energy, not people that suck energy away from everyone, right? Your attitude matters there. Another part about attitude is embracing adversity. Problems will happen. Bad breaks will happen. If you're playing in a sporting event, The ref is going to make a bad call against you. Your coach might bench you and you don't think it's your fault, right? Things like that happen in life, and it's how you handled it. They happen to everybody. Sometimes you make a mistake. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I have been the cause of my own adversity many times. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to pout? Are you going to give up? Are you going to pick your head up, stay positive, and keep going? You know what people love to be around? People love to be around helpers. Not the complainers, but the helpers. Something's broke somewhere in the school. This happens to us at the radio station all the time. I'll have a guy say, these headphones have been broken for a month. And then the engineer says, I didn't know the headphones had been broken for a month. Nobody told me anything. All you have to do is help, right? What can I do to help? How can I be of help? When you do that, people around you want to help you back, help you get to your dreams. Be eager to learn and grow at all times. It's an opportunity. Every time you have a chance to learn something and grow as a person, you should take advantage of that opportunity. And then I talked about Andy Reid saying be an energy giver. That's important. All right, speaking of that, I want you guys to watch this video with me really quickly because you guys are really lucky to have some people with tremendous attitudes that play sports in Kansas City that you can learn from. I told you Andy Reid wants to be around energy givers. Patrick Mahomes is his MVP, right? This is a video of the AFC Championship game last year. This was a game that's almost as big as any game. The only game that's bigger is the Super Bowl. To get back to the Super Bowl last year, I want you to see if you can spot the adversity, the problem that happens, and what the Chiefs do to try to solve it.
Under the lights at Arrowhead, it is the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. A step away from the Super Bowl. The Bills strike first, a 51-yard field goal. Got a couple of things that went a little hay-wacky today.
That's a big mistake. Big mistake by Bukaty right there. The team's down 9-0.
Buffalo Bills in enormous play.
I just, a dumb mistake on my part.
The Bills have cashed in on a muff punt, and it is 9-0. Buffalo on top.
Next drive. Touchdown Bukaty.
Helping us to forget about that muff punt.
Wouldn't cause me face, but the type of player I am, I'm gonna try to make a statement.
They picked it up.
A huge play for the Chiefs.
It has been an onslaught and a floodgate open. Touchdown! Mahomes, Kelsey, wide open. The Chiefs are back-to-back AFC champions, and the Super Bowl 54 champions are ready to run it back. The Chiefs have done it again.
So the adversity. One of the biggest games of his life. Everybody in the country watching. Right at the start of the game, McCole Hardman fumbles the ball and gives it to the Buffalo Bills right by the goal line. And before he has a chance even to go over and sit on the bench, the Bills have scored a touchdown and his team's down by 2 scores. And you saw what that did to him, right? He wanted to hide from the world. He sat down on that bench and he threw that coat up over his head and tried to hide. What did Patrick Mahomes do? Go ahead.
He took the coat off his head and said, pick your head up. It's not the end of the world. You can do better.
He did. He said, pick your head up. That's right. I've got more prizes. I promise I'll give you. That's right. So, he did something else, though. He told him, you're going to make a play this game. You're going to make a play. And then what happened after he said that?
He had a really long run and a touchdown.
He made a couple plays, didn't he, to help him win the game. The power of the spoken word can really matter. And I want you guys to think about that from two sides of things. My wife is a healthcare professional. She works on brain function. They've studied the human brain. If I tell you something positive is going to happen in your life, did you know it actually makes a chemical reaction in your brain that makes you feel better? Did you know that? They've studied it. It's a fact. You can speak positivity into the world. But then you also got to go back it up. Patrick Mahomes said, you're going to make a play. And then what he did, he went and gave him the ball. Put him in a position to make a play, right? So think about this from two perspectives. Number one, what if you're McCall Hardman sometime in life? Because you will be. You'll make some mistakes. Lord knows I've made my shit. And you feel terrible. And I beat myself up. And how could I be so stupid? How could I have screwed that up? But what you got to do in those times, that's when you got to pick your head up. And pull your shoulders back and keep going. And sometimes there's not going to be a Patrick Mahomes around to tell you, you're going to make something good. You have to tell yourself, I'm going to make this right. I'm going to do better. But I also want you to think about it from Patrick Mahomes' side. When you're in the classroom, when you're going to work someday, if you're on the field playing with your teammates, when one of your teammates or classmates makes a big mistake, what type of person are you? Are you the type of person that says, man, you screwed up and you let us all down? Or are you the type of person that says, you're good, you're going to make a play, and we're going to win this game? You're going to be okay. Think about which type of person you want to be. Because Patrick Mahomes is a champion, in large part because that's the type of person he is. The last thing you got to do is make it happen. That's a picture of me at the Sporting Kansas City media game where I got to pretend I actually was an athlete for a while, and I just wanted to put it up there because it makes me smile. But when it comes to, so now you've had your dreams. You figured out what you want your life to look like. You found role models. You found the map to get there. You've told people about it, and you've sought out help from those role models. And then you've got a great attitude. All that's left is to go make it happen. You can't sit around thinking that somebody's going to make your dreams come true for you. You've got to do it yourself, so you've got to get to work. Every single day, you can take a little step to getting closer. You don't have to take a big old step, just a little step. Maybe it's just doing good in school today. Maybe it's just being an energy giver to the people around you. Maybe it's being a helper. Maybe it's picking somebody up when they're down. But every day, you should ask yourself, what did I do today to get closer to my dreams? Don't get distracted by things that are less important than your dreams. That's very easy to do. Because your dreams might be way down the road. When I was in college, I used to go work at a small town radio station, DJing country music that I don't listen to, going to farm shows, and doing all sorts of other things for about $6 an hour while my friends were out partying in college on Saturdays nights and Friday nights. At the time, I wanted to be partying with them and having fun. But my dreams were over here. And I didn't let myself get distracted for something right now. I kept my eyes on going forward towards my dreams, and I'm glad I did that. I don't regret it at all. I'm so glad that I did that. And then you can't give up, okay? Sometimes you just got to keep going in life. Sometimes you feel like you're not making as much progress as you want. Most things that are really worth having don't come right away. Most of them, you find yourself, there have been several times in my career where I thought to myself, man, I'm not getting anywhere. I just keep working and working, and I'm not getting the opportunities that I want. I'm not getting recognized by anybody for the things I want to do. But you just got to keep your head down and keep going. Then all of a sudden, sometime down the road, it happens. And the next thing you know, you're in a Super Bowl commercial with Patrick Mahomes or whatever it is that you want to be in your life. You just got to keep going. And that's progress. So, has anybody here ever watched the hot dog race at Kauffman Stadium? Yeah. All right, you guys will see. I'm going to brag on myself for one thing here. I am 2-0 in the hot dog race in my life. I've had the opportunity to run the hot dog race at Kauffman Stadium 2 times. And the first time I won, and I was feeling really good about it, and I thought that's probably the only time I'll ever get invited to run in the hot dog race. And then about 15 years later, they told me I had to run in it again. And I thought of it as an obligation at first and not an opportunity because I was 44 years old. I'm the guy in the mustard there, the yellow guy. The guy in the green is a guy named Hartzell Gray, who was a state championship sprinter in high school and went on to run track at UMKC and was 20 years younger than me. And then the guy in red is a guy named Sam McDowell. He didn't have a chance. So I want you guys to watch this race, though, because I just told you I'm 2-0, so I kind of spoiled this for you for a second. But I want you to watch this race to see what happens, okay? We've already started. You can tell I'm off to a pretty good start. I got a jump on Hartzell Gray. But this guy's 20 years younger than me, and he's a world-class sprinter, or at least a state champion sprinter. I'm not. And oh boy, he starts to pull away. I can't even see out of my thing. My legs are so short, I'm pulling the mask down because I can't see. Look at him, he's got a 20-foot lead on me. There's no way I'm going to catch up. Oh, no! Oh, no, what happened? Winner! Hartzell's a good friend of mine, and I'm going to give him a hard time about this for the rest of my life. That's footage from the Royals TV truck. They sent it to me. The only reason I won that race is because I kept running. I had no business beating him, right? But you never know what's going to happen in life. Sometimes you just got to stay in there and keep going until the end, right? And that's what I did, and that's why I'm 2-0 in the hot dog race. So in closing, I want to look each one of you in the eyes, and I do want you to hear me when I say this. Your dreams can come true. They can. You might not even know what those dreams are yet, and that is fine. Some of the most interesting people I've ever met in my life still aren't quite sure what their dreams are yet. But I want you guys to be thinking about them, okay? Because I want you to feel as grateful about your life as I feel about mine, and I do. I feel so lucky every day I wake up. I get to do what I've always wanted to do for a living. I get to be married to the person I always want to be married to, and I get to raise the children I always wanted to raise. You can't get much luckier than that, right? And there's nothing special about it. I'm not a great athlete. I'm not great looking. You know, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular person. And my dreams have come true, all right? You guys can do that. You can. And here's some of the things that you can remember if you want to make it happen. Dare to dream, okay? Look around the world. Be curious. Look for people that you think are doing the things and living the things that you would like to be living, okay? And when you do that, identify them as role models. Not necessarily a model eating a sushi roll, but a role model, a person living the life you want to live. Seek them out. Get advice from them. Find out how they did it. Express yourself. Be you. Be confident in who you are. Be secure in who you are. And don't be afraid to tell people what you want to be. Have a great attitude. Don't give up. Be positive. Be an energy giver. Be a helper. Right? And then go make it happen. If you guys do those things, I assure you, you won't regret it. I just promise you, you won't regret it. So, with that, I would like to open it up to any questions. Do you guys have any questions that you would like to ask me about what I do or anything like that? Go ahead.
When you said sporting didn't exist,
Yep.
did you have the Wizards?
So he asked me, when I said sporting did not exist, did we have the Wizards? Kansas City Wizards became a thing in 1996. I was a sophomore in college. So when I was your age, no, they did not. The Kansas City Comets did. That was an indoor soccer team that is still in town. But nothing like what the Wizards are now in terms of outdoor soccer. So yeah, I didn't have that to dream of. And that's another thing actually to tell you guys too. Your dreams can evolve. I knew I wanted to be a sports broadcaster growing up, but I didn't know I wanted to be a soccer commentator because soccer wasn't even really a thing. That wasn't a job when I was your age. And then as I grew older, I realized that's my favorite sport. We have an incredible club here in town, and that's what I want to do. So your dreams can kind of evolve and change a little bit as you grow too. Yes?
Soccer was your favorite sport. Did you play it when you were a kid?
Did I play soccer when I was a kid? Yes. I played it until about 4th grade. My parents got divorced. I was living in Kansas City at the time. And my mom moved us to that small town in southern Kansas, and they didn't play any soccer down there. So I didn't play soccer again until I was a junior in high school. And I did play my junior and senior year of high school, but I wasn't very good because I hadn't been coached very much in it. So I had to really learn soccer as an adult in many ways. I still play it today though. I play in an over 30 league on Friday nights and I have fun. Not very good, but I like to play. Yes?
What if there's like nobody who wants who lives the life that you want?
What if there's nobody that lives the life you want to live? Well, that's a great question. Do you have something specific in mind that that you're thinking of?
Well, not by like the job, but like where I want to be, like what I want to experience and stuff.
Where you want to be. So like, do you want to be on Mars or something like that, where there's no humans?
No, I just never heard of somebody who wants to like be in a place that I want to be, and it's specific.
Are there any people that are in that place?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay. I'm struggling to find that scenario. I feel like in most areas, if there's somebody living there or doing that thing, then there's a role model, you know? But that's a tough one. I guess if I knew more specifically what you were talking about, I don't know if you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what if there was like a specific place, like with specific things in it that you want, and like a specific place that you don't think anybody else has?
Like a job placement?
No, like more of a place that you're living.
Okay. You want to live somewhere where no one lives.
Oh, in a place that has stuff that are in specific spots that I don't think anybody would have.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for that one because if there's somebody doing that or living there, there should be role models. But I don't know. I'm having a tough time. I have a tough time answering that one. Sorry. Anybody else? Any other questions? Go ahead. Do I still play basketball? In my driveway. But I used to play basketball about 3 or 4 times a week. And then I tore my ankle up, and then I tore my ACL in my knee and had surgeries. And I decided I kind of didn't want to play basketball anymore. So I don't play a whole lot, but I play in my driveways. Yes, sir.
Mr. Bukaty, when you talk about your journey that you've been on in your life, and you're still reaching for more. You're not in place.
Yes,
where
sir.
you're at. What I want you talked about those walls. And I think so many young people realize they want it now. And
Right.
folks that live in internet and get it right now.
Yep.
To understand that it's the process. And it's hard. It's hard work.
Yes.
But it's also who makes you who you are. But
Yeah, so the concept that you're talking about is called deferred gratification. And my dad used to talk to me about that all the time when I was a kid, and it used to make me roll my eyes. Does anybody know what deferred gratification means? So to defer something is to put it off. Gratification, to gratify, to feel good about something. So deferred gratification is I'm going to do something that's not gratifying now, because down the road, it's going to be gratifying. That's the opposite of immediate gratification. Immediate gratification is I want something right now, and I get it right now, and I feel gratified. And you guys do live in a world where that's mostly what you have, right? If you guys want something to watch on television, sadly, old people like me will tell you, oh, I had to wait around all week for my favorite show to come on a Thursday. Now, You get on Netflix, boom, it's there right now, immediate. I have what I want, and I didn't have to do anything to get it. It's just right there, right in front of me. And that's great, but that's not how you accomplish your dreams. Dreams are usually not immediate gratification. They are usually deferred. They are usually like what I talked about. Friday night, my friends are going out partying and having fun, and I'm going to go work at a radio station in a small town for a little money doing something that I'm not that interested in because it's going to get me where I want to go down the road. I told you guys I kind of dreamed of getting to do national TV stuff. I got that opportunity at 45 years old. I graduated college at 23 years old. I didn't walk out of college right into national television, right? I walked out of college and I got a job in a small town in central Missouri for next to no money, with no idea if I was ever going to get out of there or not. And I'm so glad I did it, because that deferred gratification, and I'll tell you this much too, and this is a big thing about deferred gratification, the best gratification. That whole week that I was in Los Angeles, I got to stay at the Beverly Hills Marriott. All the cars that were parked in the hotel were Bentleys and Corvettes, and I was driving in my little rental Hyundai. But I lived in Beverly Hills and worked in Beverly Hills for a week. And it meant so much to me because I knew how much work it took to get there. I knew how many chances I had to take. I knew how many sacrifices I had to make. 25 years of investing in my career had paid off. And I walked around Beverly Hills for a week almost in tears of joy, because it meant so much to me because I knew what it took to get there. Honestly, I'm glad I didn't get that right out of college, because I wouldn't have appreciated it. I would have taken it for granted. Oh, here I am. This is just what you do when you get out of college. But because I had to work so hard for it, I spent that whole week and I thought to myself, I hope I get to keep coming out here over and over again for my career, but I'm going to enjoy every minute of being here because I knew how hard it was to get here. Anytime you watch players like Patrick Mahomes talk about the championships they won and stuff, the first thing they talk about is how much hard work and sacrifice it took to get there. And those are not empty words. See, everybody sees Patrick Mahomes running around on the football field and 70,000 people cheering for him and all the great stuff. What they don't see is the hours and hours and hours sitting in front of the computer staring at game film. The hours and hours of working out in the gym when his body's already so exhausted that all he wants to do is go home and take a nap. Right? Nobody sees that part. But if he doesn't do those things, he never gets to have the part where he holds up the Super Bowl trophy at the end. Right? So that's deferred gratification. So you guys got to remember that. Okay, I think, are we pretty much out of time here? Anything else? Any more questions before I know you guys probably are about ready to get back to class now after all that. Well, guys, I think that's it. Hey, guys, thank you very much for taking the time today to listen to all this. I hope it was something that was meaningful for you. It was definitely fun for me. And again, Wyatt and Jake, let's give them a round of applause. We got you out of class. So, thank you very much.
And before we head back, and I know what a great opportunity to have Mr. Bukaty come and visit with us, speak with us, share his personal story, his dreams, and you're thinking about the dreams that you have and how to bring that to fruition, and it's all different for each of us. But what a great example, model, right here in Kansas City. And so again, we want to say thank you for this opportunity this afternoon. So thank you.
By the way,
And this little dude.
this is a big basketball. I don't know if you're going to trade it. Was you?